Hi, my name is Brittany Ertz. I work at the Lifeologie Allen location. I see couples who are really struggling with conflict resolution and communication style issues, and I also see adolescents who are really struggling with anxiety or depression. Sure, yeah. So couples usually struggle with feeling stuck. A lot of the times we get people who will come in and they're kind of at their last straw. But really, what we do in couples counseling is we give them hope that it's not their last straw. They just really need to work on some communication skills or even just relationship issues. And so that's really what we focus on at the beginning. With adolescents, it's also very much the same thing, right? If you're a parent and you're bringing your kid in, you're also maybe at your last straw and you're not too sure what's happening, or even as a teenager, you might just be scared and not too sure what all of these emotions are feeling. And so through therapy as well, we also kind of help dig down into the deeper rooted issues and really figure out, why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? And it's okay that you're feeling that way. And let's figure out a way to help, and so that way you can live your life normally. Parents can expect in a therapy role that I'm a very communicative and collaborative therapist, where I love to hear what the parents are saying, because I'm really only going to see your kid maybe once a week, and really only for an hour. You're going to see them all day long. And so I really like to be collaborative, and so really expect me to just be asking a lot of questions of what you're seeing and what you're feeling. I often like to do a check-in with parents at least once a month to just say, hey, let's kind of recircle back. Are you seeing growth? Are you seeing a decline? And really also check in with the teenager as well of, hey, can we have a family session? Like, let's all just check in and really try to reunify the family as a whole. Okay, so in couples work, usually couples come in and they really feel like they're at their last straw, they're at the end of their rope, and they really don't know what their next best step is. And so in therapy, what we work on is, okay, well, what is your next best step? And how do we get there? And how do we really instill hope for you in the next couple of sessions? Just because all of that conflict and all of those relational issues can really just seem very dark. And so it's my job to give you hope and let you know that not everything is too far gone. And so we focus on conflict management, we focus on communication styles, but really all of that just means that we just try to reconnect. We try to turn towards each other instead of away from each other. And usually after we're done, even after a couple of sessions, they feel like they have more communication skills. And so they're talking better, they're even fighting better. And that's just a really cool thing to see when you can fight well with your spouse, because then that means that you can really handle life together. So with teenagers, quite frankly, a lot of the teenagers that I see, they don't want to come to therapy. They either think that they don't have a problem, or they just feel like therapy's not going to be very helpful for them. But what I found often is, once we start to really look into all of those emotions and how they feel, they kind of have a light bulb moment of going, oh, that's what anxiety is. Oh, that's what depression is. Oh, that's how I'm feeling. And when they can name things, naming things is so powerful, because when you can name it, then you can actually take ownership of it, and then you can change it. And so a lot of my teenagers, after a couple of sessions, they really feel more empowered because they know more about themselves. Yeah, oh gosh, there's so many things, but I think the biggest thing is I really like caring about people genuinely and authentically. So when I get to meet somebody for the first time in my therapy room in my office, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, I get to care about you, I get to walk with you, and that's just an exciting thing for me. I really enjoy meeting people where they're at and learning how they work and learning how they operate, but then also helping them grow. And so one of my favorite things is just seeing the progression. If I have someone who's coming in that's really anxious, and 3 or 4 months later they are like, I handled something well, and I'm like, yeah, you did. And so that's always really, really fun to see the progress. But caring about people and really entering into their lives in just this really safe, comfortable, non-judgmental space is just such a beautiful thing to experience, and then also a beautiful thing for me to be a part of. Yeah, I think at first, when people come in, I know when I first started going to therapy, I was really nervous, right? I expected this very uptight and professional person, but what I love the most about therapy is that I'm human and you're human, and so you can definitely expect my own personality to come out. I'm a very genuine and authentic person, but I'm also very, funny, and I can also be able to connect with you well, and we can always find common interests. And so I think the first session is mostly about building rapport, right? Let's figure out how you and I can work together. But also, let you just verbalize everything that you've been holding in for so long. And so really that first session is just, tell me why you're here. Tell me what's going on. And then how can we work together? What are some of your goals that we can have? I love it when clients come in and they already have goals written down, because then I can know what the next steps are. But really, it's just mostly about building rapport and giving you a little bit of hope, so that way you can look forward to the next session and really be able to say, okay, I have a plan of what's going to happen, and I have a plan of how things are going to work. I think that's completely normal and valid. If you're feeling very hesitant to come into therapy, that's okay. That's normal. I know I was nervous when I first started, because you're letting somebody into the deepest parts of your life. And that can be very scary to do, but just know that we're very non-judgmental people. We will care about you. We will be honest and empathetic, but also know that we are professionally trained to handle nervous and professionally trained to handle sadness. And so don't feel afraid to feel any of those things, because that's our job. And so the biggest encouragement that I would have for someone is, hey, just take it step by step, right? What's that next best step that you can do? Okay, now you've made the phone call. Now you're in our office. Okay, now just take a step into our office and let us do the rest of the